Mariam Nagasi was a farmer in Armagho in the Amhara region in 2016. He had been a resident of Amhara for more than 2 decades and says him and his family had built a happy and successful life in the region. But in August of 2016, all this would change. He says armed men told Tigrayans that they had to leave the area, a warning he says him and his family had not received. Days later, these armed men came to his house, looted and destroyed his property, physically assaulted him and left him for dead.
It was in August 18 of 2016. I was on my farm when a group of young men, armed with machetes, sticks with nails sticking out of them, and stones, came. Their leaders had Kalashnikovs. I think every Tigrayan was told to leave, but I hadn't heard because my farm is a little outside the city. They beat me till I blacked out. They thought I was dead and left me there.
Walla Gabriel says his neighbors found him unconscious, put him on a cart and brought him to Tigray, where he was able to receive medical treatment.
A local resident and his wife found me unconscious on the ground, picked me up and took me to Abdelrafi using a cart, and then finally took me to Amhara for medical treatment.
Months later, Walda Gabriel says he decided to return to Gondar after promises by regional authority and the federal government that the situation in Armagho had improved. But upon arrival, he says he was arrested by Amhara authority and further abused.
When I went back, I found that my house and all my wealth had been burned to the ground. Moreover, the official in Abrahajira 01 Kabele accused me of faking my death. They released my attackers in Soroka and detained me instead. My health started to deteriorate in the prison. My body was swollen. My cellmates complained to the guard and said they couldn't stand to be in a cell with me because of my condition. So the guard took me out and dumped me in the streets.
He says officials in the region did nothing to help thousands of Tigrayans displaced from Gondar in 2016, and in effect encouraged the violence on Tigrayans to continue. At the time, Walda Gabriel had traveled to the capital of the administrative zone in Gondar, only to be told that nothing could be done.
The Warada administrator called and asked the local authorities about my property, my remaining property, as well as those already destroyed. They told them I can sue in the civil court for properties destroyed, but said they couldn't do anything for me in regard to the properties that I had left behind.
Says he stayed in the region hoping that justice would be served until he lost hope and returned to Tigray months later. Walda Gabriel believes that the violence on Tigrayans today is a continuation of the violence him and thousands of Tigrayans witnessed in Gondar in August of 2016.
What we are seeing now, the massacre, burning people alive, and destruction of properties started in 2016.
Walda Gabriel has been sheltered in an IDP camp in Maqala for more than 3 years now. For months, him and hundreds of thousands more like him have not been able to access basics, such as food and medication.
We are struggling to survive every day. 3 people have died here due to hunger. A 4th one is in the hospital.
There are more than 2 million IDPs in Tigray, all unable to access basics such as food and medication due to Ethiopian government's blockade on humanitarian assistance.